Ladies and gentlemen, it was not supposed to happen like that. This match was not supposed to end like that. Man City scrambling last minute of the game, trying to clear off. It should not have come to that. It should have been so much more comfortable. I think for literally 99% of football fans out there in the world, I don't even know what percentage. It was going to be a Man City win. It's going to be a comfortable Man City win. The only percentage of football fans in the world that didn't think Man City would win this game were Arsenal fans. Let's just call it what it is. And we're all thinking 3-0, 4-0, whatever. We saw what Forest did to Burnley at the weekend. We saw what Man City did against Arsenal. It was only going one way. And the fact that this game only ended with one goal is a shocker to all of us. None of us expected a 1-0 result. I can almost guarantee that most of us expected 3-0, 4-1, 5-1, something of that kind of scoreline. But guys, I think what I noticed about this game, I'll talk about that further in this video. Arsenal are officially back in second place. Arsenal has somehow led the entirety of the season, maybe from match week 8 or whatever it was to match week 33. You've led for basically 25 match weeks or whatever it was, at least 20. And you find yourselves with 5 games left in the season going back to second place. Congratulations to Burnley. Back to the championship you go. And I do not want to see Burnley back in the Premier League until they change things. They're such a boring team. Before I get to Man City and how great they've been this season and how much they deserve to actually win this game, despite how bad that second half was, they deserve to win this game. But Burnley, please go down and don't come back up for a while. If you're not going to change how you play when you come back up, do not come back up. Because I've seen Leeds look decent. I've seen Sunderland look decent. Burnley do the same thing every season. They go down, they come back up, they play shit, and they go back down. I'm tired of saying that. I do not want to see Burnley in the Premier League again until things change. But now back to Man City. Man City in this game must have had at least 25 shots. Man City in this game had at least 5 clear-cut golden opportunities to score today. They should have had at least 4 goals. Without a doubt, let me just make sure I get this right and look at the statistics from this match, because it says right here, Manchester City had 28 shots and 3 big chances. That is not accurate. That cannot be accurate. The Haaland miss at the end of the second half. The Nico O'Reilly miss after Chucky finds him. That's at least 2. That's already 2 right there. Right? Haaland's goal. What am I missing? Semenyo must have had 1. Chucky must have had 8 shots today. Chucky had how many shots today? 8 key passes, 8 shots. My brother was shooting every time he touched the ball in the box, he was thinking about shooting the ball. Every time the ball touched Ryan Chucky's foot in the box, it was either a pass to lead to a shot or a shot himself. He was the hungriest player on this Man City team, trying desperately to get more goals. It seemed like Doku wasn't even that interested in getting more goals. Semenyo, this is how many ass performances is this in a row from Semenyo? It's piling up. The cheeks are piling up, bro. It's enough. At this point, should he even start the next game? Because Savinho did more in those 10, 15, 20 minutes than Semenyo did in the entire game. So maybe Savinho should start the next game. And then you bring Semenyo on and maybe he can run an entire leg because it's been asked for a little while now. Right? It was asked against Madrid, bad against Arsenal, bad again today. Bro, do you want to win the league or not? And I think that might be what it was today. These players haven't won the league, right? Obviously, Haaland has, Bernardo Silva has, but the rest of them, they don't. It seemed like the pressure was getting to them. They were snapping at shots. They were making wrong decisions, poor decisions. They weren't quick enough in their decision making in the box, and I think all that stems from these guys just haven't won. They don't know what it takes to win. They haven't gone through a title race of this kind of magnitude before in their careers. Maybe even Donnarumma, someone that has won several leagues, bro, has he really gone through a title race this stressful and this, kind of you don't know what's gonna happen? I'm not sure he has. PSG have usually walked the league on. So I think that was really what it was. Turkey maybe was a little anxious today, maybe a little snappy at his shots. Semenyo, same thing. Doku didn't really get much from him. Nico O'Reilly was actually decent. I think you lost something out of him, not having him at left back. I know he didn't really give you the same thing that Nico O'Reilly's been giving you. So I think losing Raju kind of hurt the team in that regard. I was thinking maybe Pep would trust Nico Gonzalez a little bit more, playing from the start, and still keep Nico O'Reilly at left back. That wasn't to be the case. So I don't know if there's a huge trust issue with Ryan Aït-Nouri, but for Raju to be out and for him to move Nico O'Reilly back into midfield and then like that's a damning indictment, I think, on Nico Gonzalez's Man City career. I think that's a damning indictment because what it tells me is he's never really going to be a starter. He's always going to be kind of a fringe bench player. So I don't know if that's what he wants out of his career, but I just don't see much more than that for him, right? Again, I was going to say something about Burnley. Burnley had chances today. I don't know if that was Man City anxiousness. I don't know if that was Man City just being... I think they were anxious. Let's just call it what it is. I think Man City were anxious. And not because of... And only because these guys haven't been there before, right? If this was the days of Ruben Diaz and John Stones and De Bruyne and Rodri playing and all these guys, I don't think they would have. I think this game would have been a 6-0. I think it was that Man City team. It would have been a 6-0 comfortable beatdown. But the anxiousness got to this Man City team today. But at the end of the day, who cares? The second half was ass, but they won the game, and they're now top of the league. Top of the league, obviously on goals scored. I thought they would find a way to improve their goal difference, but they just couldn't do it today. So it's a good win. It's an impressive win. Impressive in the sense that they got the job done. It wasn't impressive in the sense that they played quality football throughout the game. I think that second half was very, very bad. Very, very bad. Commentary even mentioned it. They said that second half was one of the worst second halves you've seen from Man City this season. It was that bad. Considering it should have been so many more goals. And I think that's something that Man City might even live to regret at the end of the season. Because if they match Arsenal result for result from now until the end of the season, it's gonna come down to goal difference. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say that Arsenal will score goals freely, but I think Arsenal do have an easier run-in than Man City do. So this was a game for Man City to rack up the goal difference. Get maybe a 3-4 advantage in the goal difference category, and that would put more pressure on Arsenal. But now that Arsenal know that you have to just match Man City result for result, and you have the easier run of games, I think it gives them a little bit more boost in confidence going into those last 5 games. I think Man City really, really, really missed an opportunity to really put pressure on Arsenal by scoring more goals today. So that 1-0 win, it's a win, it's top of the league, it's a good day, but it could and it should have been so much more. I think today we saw a lot of frustration from Erling Haaland. I've seen this over the course of several seasons with Haaland, right? All these great goal scorers, great players, they get very, very frustrated when players don't feed them the ball, right? And so many occasions for this Man City team, I'm looking at players and I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't even matter if a player is wide open. If Haaland is semi-open, give him the ball. Haaland with a man pressuring him is more of a guaranteed goal than any other Man City player wide open. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Haaland with the defender on him, if you give him the ball, he has a higher chance of scoring than any Man City player has, even if they're wide open. You saw with the Arsenal goal. Even with Gabriel draped over him, he still that's the kind of finisher the Haaland is. So I think for majority of the game, there were instances where I'm thinking to myself, give him the ball. You need goals. Give him the ball. Don't give it to Semenyo. Don't give it to Doku. Don't give it to Bernardo Silva. Give the ball. Don't give it to Shirky. Give the ball to Haaland. Let him get you a more comfortable lead, and then the rest of you can start to kind of pad the scoreline, right? I think that's the kind of thing that Haaland does really, really well. He will get you a 1-0, 2-3 goal lead, and then opens it up for the rest of the team, and they can start to flood in the goals for you. But when it's time for them to put you up 1-0, put you up 2-0, put you up, in a key goal in a game, you cannot fully trust any of them yet, right? They'll have moments. Yes, Semenyo will have moments. Cherki will have moments. They'll all have moments to get you goals. But when it comes down to who really needs to get you a goal, the ball should have kept. You should have kept feeding Haaland. Haaland should have had 8 shots today. 8 shots. Every opportunity you had to get the ball to Haaland, let him get you a goal. So I think that was a big mistake from Man City today. Is how from 28 shots you only scored 1 goal. That should never be the case. But that's just me being harsh. End of the day, top of the league, and now you just fight Arsenal out for the rest of the season and see where you can go from there. But I said it before, if Man City were to win against Arsenal, they would win the league, and I stand by that. Even though they have a more difficult run-in, I still do believe that Man City will win this league. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments about this game in particular, about Man City and Arsenal in the last 5 games of the season. What do you kind of see and expect from both of these teams? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Peace out.